Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Yannick, I'm the French guy from Switzerland, and this is part 5 of the Ubuntu MATE Software Boutique series. In this part, I'm going to add icon to the toolbar so we can have filters, and if you want to get in touch with what I have done so far, if I remember to do it and find out how to do it, I will add cards, or maybe I will just add link in the show notes in the description of the video to the previous part, or there's even a playlist, I think, on the channel, so you can use that to catch up. Good evening, Bigpod. I see you're back from that last minute reboot. That's always fun, those kind of things. Yes, so let's have a look at where we are in the Software Boutique 2.0 right now. Let me just switch to the code view. So I have already started Visual Studio. I have done a few things already to test my setup. So that's where we are now. We have that window with the search box here, and we can search for software. And so the Software Boutique shows a list of curated apps. So it's not going out to the archive and get some information. So it's just a list of software that the Ubuntu MATE team thinks you should have on your machine, and so that's what it is. That's why it's really fast like that. So let's see if there we go. We can have a look at other software, and we can see we have every software that has screen in its name or its description. And so we're gonna have two buttons, details and install. It doesn't do anything right now, but we have connected the buttons. And so what we're going to do now, because those things are in different categories, we're going to add some buttons here and have the apps filters, something like what the current Software Boutique does. And so if we have here those icons, you can click here for accessories, education, games, graphism. So if we go back to games, for example, you can see this looks like what we have now. So there's the icon, name, description, and the two buttons here. Except we don't have that button right now, but I would like to have this kind of behavior. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So how do we do that? Well, let's have a look at how the app quickly how the app is organized. So we've got our main program that starts the Software Boutique. That's the application that in turns creates a main window, and the main window creates its components, and its components are a toolbar and the central widget. So we're interested in the toolbar right now. So let's go see the toolbar, and the toolbar creates its components, and so far we have a spacer and the search field. So that's where we're going to add some buttons. Oh, we have an exclusive in the chat. Bigpod just announced that on Saturday he's planning on having an amazing stream. Bigpod, aka Bigpod trying to learn Python. Well, that's gonna be very interesting. Saturday, depending on the time, I might be able to watch that. So if you just can tell me the time you plan on streaming Bigpod and write that on the community calendar, then that would be nice, and I will announce that at the end of this stream. Right, so as far as I know, and given my tests that I did just prior to this stream, this is how we create actions and buttons for the toolbar. So we're going to let's let's start with the game category. So that's gonna be the game. Let's call that the game category action category. This would help if I could write. That's an action, and we're going to create a Q action. So Q action, you can give just a text or give an icon and a text. Unfortunately, I was not able to figure out where the current Software Boutique gets its icons from. So for the sake of speed, I will only use the text and I will add the icons off stream. So let's call that games. All right. And then, if I remember correctly, we do self.addAction and self. Actually, I'm not even sure I need to make that an instance variable. So let's change that. Come on, cursor, you can do it. Yes. Right, let's do this. So game category action equals Q action games and self add action. Okay. So that's gonna give us an action, but that's not gonna do much because there's no function to manage the click on this action. So let's add an action. Which one is it? It's not checkered. Triggered. Category action dot triggered. We need to connect that to one of our methods in this class. Is it in this class or is it somewhere else? I wonder. Where did we put the search results? Oh, that's a signal here. Okay, there's a signal here. So what we need to do, we need to let the main window connect to this action. So let's do this. Add listeners. Yes. Okay. Yes, the listener said set toolbar on return press self.search, and that's what we want to do. We want to do self.toolbar dot game category action triggered, and we want to connect that to self.filter games. Okay. Let's create a function for that. Filter games. And what is this thing going? Well, it's gonna get self because it's an instance method, and that's pretty much it. It doesn't need to have anything else because we know it's the filters. It's the game. The games. Would help also if I could speak English properly, but hey. Let's print something. Games with as many exclamation points as we can because we never have enough. You never have enough exclamation points. Okay. We need to define this thing. Game category action. Actually, it's games category. Is it? No. Let's make that games category. Games category action triggered will need a callback. So how do I do that? On return press self search game category. So this could be self dot game category action triggered equals self dot. Hey, I knew I needed this thing to be an instance variable. Okay, that's self dot triggered. What? No, not at all. That's that. Yeah. There we go. Okay, but that means that it's going to get the checked parameter from the triggered event. Let's write something more intelligent. Games category is checked. Checked. Let's see. Will that work? Oh, that's not the correct one. That's the one I want. Ooh. Not if cute is not. Not if cute signal is not callable. Oh yes. That's. It is a function. The function returned to connect. What? So I can't do that. So if I can't do that, I will do that. Def that self listener, and that's gonna be self dot games category action dot triggered dot connect with the listener. All right. Seems to work better. Oh, yeah. Okay. So it doesn't stay triggered. But if we want to mimic, and it's a good idea, I think, to mimic the current behavior, is to have the selected icon to have some kind of border around. So we need to have that checked. And so in order to do that, we're gonna have to tell our action that it is trigger checkable, set checkable true. Right. I could use this terminal. Why do I always go back to the other terminal? This one works fine. And there we go. Yes. It's checked. It's unchecked. Okay. Where we are at, there's something I would like to address. Is that this bar is floatable and is movable, and it's fun and all that, but I don't think it's really useful for this software boutique. So I'm going to tell the toolbar that it is not movable, and I think we have to tell it that it's not dockable, draggable. Set what? Movable. There was floatable. It's not floatable either. I suspect that movable was enough, and there we go. The toolbar is now fixed at the top of the window, and it's not going to move. Okay, one thing we're gonna have to address too is that if we have multiple buttons, the fact that if we click on one button, it should pop uncheck the other buttons. So we're gonna try and do something. So in order to do that, we need to add another category. So let's say, I don't know, which one? Which category can we use? Oh, what's my software boutique? It's there. What other category do we have in the software boutique that we can we could use? We have servers. Yeah, well, why not? Servers. Okay. Let's add servers. Then we're gonna have to do that. Self.servers category action equals Q action servers and server category action set checkable true. So I've done the same thing twice now. So it probably means that this action should be a class of its own, so we don't have to do that twice. What else? We need to add that action to the toolbar. This needs to move here, and then self.add action self.servers category action. Okay. This really should be called games category action. There we go. Hello, Eric. Welcome to the show. How are you? So let's see now. Do we have 2 actions? Yes, we do. And see what I mean? That I can check games, and then if I click servers, games stay clicked. So we're gonna have to address that. This could be made. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, I have the main window which is connected to the games category action trigger. We obviously gonna have to have a servers category action triggered. No more meetings today. That's always good. That's always good. And we need this too. We need this servers category action triggered. Self listener. That returns nothing, and it's connecting the listener to the servers category action triggered. Okay, good. Now we need to filter servers. Okay, and we need to have a filter servers function, and I will later on upstream optimize everything as I often always do. Servers category is checked. Okay, see if we haven't broken anything. Games, okay, and servers, okay, that works. Okay, now this is a search of some sort. It's not the search for a specific item. It's a search for every item in that category. So we need to get all those packages. But we're gonna have to filter those packages in some way. So let's start with the games, because the games it's always more fun than the server stuff. So let's see. I need, obviously, if I need this function twice, it probably needs. It probably means that I need to put that outside of the function where it was. Put an underscore in there to denote as a private method. It doesn't really matter because Python doesn't have scope, so it won't prevent anyone from calling the function. But it's a convention, and if you're a good Python programmer and you see an underscore in front of a method, you will refrain from calling that method from outside of the class where it's defined. So matches, we remove that too, and we call it here self.matches and self.matches here, and also here self.matches. Okay. And that's where I need to think. So this is a Python comprehension. So that this thing is not trivial at first, but that's as far as I remember, that's equivalent to 4 underscore packages in self dot index categories items, and then there's another loop inside for underscore package in packages dot items, and then yeah, that's it. So what do I want? I want that, but only for the categories, for a specific category. For in don't okay, so that's if not if self-index categories item, and then oh, so that gives me, that loops over the categories. I want the games category. As you can probably see, contrary to my other streams, I haven't prepared anything for this one. I was a bit in a hurry tonight, so I'm going to have to rely on the good old print debug method. So for okay, for category in self dot index of categories. Now what happens if I do that? I should have a block of Python that will show me all the categories one by one. So if I click on games, it shows me accessibility, accessories, development, education. Yes. So what I want is actually, I don't want that. I want my category, index categories of games, and then that's no longer a category. That should be a package, I'm guessing. PAC package would help if I can write properly. I should do I really should do those streams in the morning. Let's click games, and there we go. We have our packages. Okay, so those are all the packages. What if I do here items? I think that's what I want. Yes, there we go. That's what I want. Or maybe I even want e package in games, and then I can write e package. That's probably what I want. Although I don't think I need the key. No. Too many values to unpack. Expected 2. Ah, yes, that's it. That's what we want. and we have the key. That's the game, I think, and the key for the game. Yes, and then we have all the information. So if we want to reuse the code that is already exists, that's that code here, we need to get our packages. So our packages are now packages equals package for well, we don't need the key, so let's ignore it. In self.index categories games dot items. Okay, and if we have that, then we can have that. Ooh. Yeah, okay. I add the card, but then but before that I need to clear the central widget. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I think that terminal. Now I know why I always switch back to the other terminal. Games. Woohoo! Look at that. We have games. That's nice. All those are in the games category. It works. Let's just for the fun do the server ones. And we're going to do some refactoring after that. So the category was server, I believe. And so server, nope. Was it server maybe? And not servers? If not, then I'm gonna have to go back to printing. Yeah, there we go. That will do it. Those are our server category, and that's the game category. Okay. So in the current software boutique, there's a filter here. But I was wondering if maybe, you know, if this is checked, so if game is selected and then you look for, I don't know, card, yes, then it should probably look just into the games category. I wonder why it didn't get the card games. Desktop game collections. Desktop. Ooh, there's something weird. The thing that is weird is that it's not working anymore. What did I break? What did I break? The match. I'm sure that's the match. The match function. Yes, because that matches with an underscore. Why didn't it tell me? Oh, well, it did. Look at that. It did tell me that there was something wrong. I just didn't look. Rule number 1 of debugging: look at your trace, stack trace, and other log console. Let's go back to this console. I like it better. It's bigger. Okay, so card matches. Matches takes 2 positional arguments, but 3 were given. Really? Really? 1, 2. Yes, really. Really. I noticed that most of the time the compiler or the computer is right when it is something. Most of the time. That's not always. But... So, card. Yes. So that's a password management. It's not a game. So my guess, what I would like to do is that if games is selected and then you search for card, then it would only return softwares that are in the games category. I think it would make sense, and it would make the UI a lot less complicated, because if you look at what the Software Boutique does right now, and I'm not picking on the current one, it's working, it's fine, but you know, there's a search function here, and then if you go to a game, and then the filter is there, and those are the subcategory, I guess. But then you don't have anything to filter that. So I think it would make more sense if we could have the search that is dependent on well, not dependent. That's not what I meant, but well, the search is filter by the selected icon. Here you lose your category. If you are in games and then want to go search for something, you lose that. And I think it would be a better option to have both. Okay. So it's working pretty good right now. How about we try to implement that thing, that when we search, we get the selected category. But to do that, we're going to need to be able to uncheck an option when another option is checked. Right, let's go back to the chat for a moment. What have you guys talked about? Bigpod said Saturday's stream will be really hurtful for me. And there will be nothing proper about me writing Python. Well, you know what? I might learn a thing or two, because I just, well, it's not that I just started in Python, but I don't pretend to know everything in Python. Google is my friend, or other search engines are available. But yeah, I look a lot of stuff online, so I might learn a thing or two from your Python stream. Eric says, wait until you see all my junky auto Python utility. Yeah, so Eric is doing something interesting. He's going to, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Eric, you're going to integrate some Python into R. Is that what I understood? That's gonna be nice. I want to have a look at that, see how you do that. Hello, Nate. Welcome to the show. Well, I don't know if it's a show, but welcome. Bigpod said, I will be learning Python on stream for basically the first time. Yeah, well, there's a start for everything. I know basically how to print and if and loop. Well, you've got the basics, Bigpod. If you can loop and if to exit the loop and print stuff, you're done. I mean, you can do some funky hello world. That's for the calendar thing. Yes, okay. So the idea for Eric's Frankensteining Python and R is to get some, to get some data out of a calendar, and then show a nice view of that calendar. Yeah, well, I don't remember exactly what it is. I know that when we talked about that, we were very excited, and I look forward to watching the live stream and see that raise from the ground. Okay, let's go back to our code. So what we want to do is keep track of which button has been pressed last. So if we have games or if we have servers. So we only have those two right now. So we can have some discrete code, so code here in this function and some in this one. But when we get like 10 categories, obviously it's not gonna be manageable. So I'm gonna have to find a way to make that a single function. But for now let's do this. So if we click on filter games, we're gonna have to tell the toolbar to uncheck the server button. Well, actually it's gonna have to uncheck every button except this one. So let's do something. Self.toolbar dot uncheck buttons except but how can I tell it to not do the games button? Well, I'm going to do that like this for now, and this will be server because that's the category. And we're gonna find a way to link the button to the category name. Right, let's go to the toolbar. Toolbar is here. And we need to define that function. Because I'm lazy, I'm going to cut and paste the name of the function. That's how good programmers do. The less they write, the better they feel. And we need an exception. And that's going to be a string. And that's going to return nothing. So what do? We can do this if... So again, that's going to have to change. It works right now because I only have 2 buttons. But you can't do that when you've got 10 buttons. So if exception is not nope. If game is not exception, then self.game category action dot set checked false. And same with server. Oh, that's games. Server is not exception. Then self.server's category action set checked. So checked, not checked. And we know now, but we didn't know then, that it's server category and not servers. Okay, main window, we uncheck the other one. Okay, let's see if that works. Server is checked and server is not checked. Good, that works. We need to keep track of which button has been pressed. So let's do this. Self.current category equals games. Now we start to see some common elements. We always have the category here. So we can probably extract a method and say, okay, do that thing with the games category and do that thing with the server category. Self.current category equals server. Okay. And do we want to have a case where we don't have any filters? I guess we should do that. And so that should be if checked. Then we do that. And else we have to clear the current category. Equals none. Same thing down here. If we are checked, so if the button has been pressed, we do this. And if the button hasn't been pressed, then we set the category to none. We also want to... What do we want? What happens if we uncheck a category? I guess we're gonna have to see about that off stream. Let's not worry about that right now. So, there we go. And in our search, then if we have a category, if self.current category is not none, then we do this. Else, we don't do this. We do this, but then that's something like that, I guess. Else, it's more something like that. Package is equals package for package underscore package in self.index.category.self current category. Okay, let's do some magic and press Ctrl Shift I and let Visual Studio Code reorganize this code. Okay, package equals, and then we get the package we need. Oh, there's something missing here. There's this part missing. Because we want that, but only if... I think I broke the auto indentation. So that's package for underscore package in self items. If self-match package name or self-match package description. Okay. I agree with that. Because I wrote it. And now I don't agree with that. What's wrong? That's a parenthesis and that's a bracket. Bracket. I like the word bracket. Sounds like a frog. Bracket. I think it's time that I go to bed. Which is exactly why I drink some coffee. Okay, if we don't have any current category, we do what we did previously. Otherwise, we only get our packages from that category. And then we display the packages. Okay, we need to initialize the current category to none somewhere. And that somewhere will be around here. I would say here. Self.current category equals none. All right. What did I break now? Let's look for card. Okay. Doesn't work. Why? In main window.py at line 95 in search in self.index category self.current categories. Here or none? Well, it shouldn't have come to this line. So my test is wrong. Yes, it's completely wrong. It's completely inversed. That should be better. Let's see. Card. Card gives us lots of stuff. Let's click on games and then search for card again. And now we only have those two games. And then if we click on server, and that's another thing I need to... In fact, what that shows is that everything should go through the same search function. Because if I have card selected here and I click on games, I should see games that are related to the card search term. And same for the server. But obviously this is going to work. And I like what I see. I don't know if you guys like what you see, but I do. I do. And then here also, when the search is cleared, it should clear the results too. And so what I was wondering earlier is that here we have the game selected. What happens if we uncheck games? Do we want to clear the results, or obviously we're not going to show everything. So if there's no search term, I would probably want to clear the results. I think that's what I want to do. Okay, so let's do this. Now I have card, and I click on server, and it should filter the server category with card. And by the way, I made a mistake in my label. That's server, the proper category. So if we go back to the main window, we know. Yes, so this should only set the current category, set or unset the current category, and then call the search function. This should do the same and call the search function. And the search function should only, and this function should only set the search term and call the search function. That's what it should be doing. So let's do search. Okay, we're going to have self because we always have self. And what does that do? That does exactly this. That does this. Let's get that here. And that does this, except it's going to use self.searchTerm here and here too. And something tells me I can probably merge those two things. And that's gonna set the search term. Okay, it can set it to empty too, and we're going to address this later on. So we have a function do search that needs to be called from here. Only one thing. It doesn't need any parameters. And then when we filter the games, if checked, then that, and not that. Not that either, not that, okay. And that is okay. And then we call self.doSearch. Okay, and here we do the same thing. If we do that here. Okay, what did I break? So far, nothing. Okay, let's click on games. Ah, yes, I did break something. Main window object does not have no attribute search term. Yes, because I haven't initialized the search term just yet. Let's do that here. And it will be probably empty string. Probably empty string. But then yeah, it seems to be working. Those seems to be the server stuff, and those seems to be the games. Flight Gear is probably a game. Free Sieve is a game. Frozen Bubble is a game. That's a game. Lutrice is in the games category. Minecraft, yeah. And now if I search for card, I only have the card games, and if I go to server right now, I only have the X2Go server. Why? I don't know. That's probably card in the description. Smart card. So it's got card. So that's something too. Maybe we should only search for full words. I don't know. I guess experience will tell. And now if I remove this and search, then we've got the whole thing. Cool. I still have my problem with the unchecking of the category. I think it gave it's listing everything, I think, right now. Well, we're gonna address that later on. What I want to do now is I go to games and card and then clear that. I would like that, but I don't even know how to do that. Well, it's been 50 minutes. We still have about 20 minutes, 15 minutes to do stuff. Yeah, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to try and go over here. We see that we do the same thing here and here, except that we have the category here. So let's write a function, def filter. It's gonna get self, and it's gonna get a category, which is going to be a string, return none, and it's going to do that exactly. Oh, it needs the checked. So that's a boolean. Okay, and instead of hard coding the category here, we're going to use the variable category, and here we're going to call filter games, and here we're going to call filter server. That's not gonna work. We need a check here. Actually, that's in that order. Check. All right, check please. That looks a lot better now, because if I can figure out a way to give the name of the action to that function, then I can have only one thing. Actually, that's in the category. What if from functool import partial? What if I was doing something like that? And then partial. The partial function, as far as I can tell, it says, okay, this function here needs a parameter, so it's gonna get filled dynamically. So I can call this function with that second parameter. I'm not even sure it's gonna work. I'm a noob. I just discovered the partial functions last week, I think. So I might be completely wrong. That would be filter. Let's see what I broke. Key error, true. So current category was set to true. Okay. So filter you got only this, so that's not working. Oh well, I tried. not a problem. I will figure that out during the week before next Thursday. Okay, so there we go. We can filter the game. We can filter the servers. Filter, and we call that, and that works. Okay. Now, what doesn't really work is this uncheck button exit category, because we have this thing here. What I want to do here is iterate over all the buttons and then figure out if that button is the one I need to uncheck. So in order to do that, I will need a self.actions array or list, and then self.actions that happened self.games category action. Okay, and then do the same thing here, and now I have a list of my buttons. Okay. So the first thing I can do is this. Now for action in self.actions. And I can do action dot set checked. What's wrong? It doesn't know. That's a list of queue actions. So that's a queue action. No, that's an any. How can action be any if actions is a list of queue action? Because action is a function. Actions is a function. So we're going to F2, press F2 and refactor that. It doesn't want to do it because of the method that is called actions. Okay, we're going to help it and do that ourselves. And now we've got self.actions is a action is a list. Can I tell it that it's a list of queue action? Did that help? It did. It did. That's a queue action. Wow. It worked. And now we've set checked false. Except now we need to figure out which one is the games, which one is the server. Can I add user data to an action? I don't know. Let's figure out. Set user data. Nope. Set data. Does set data. Data. Okay, let's say games. And let's do this and set data and say server. And can we action that get action data? Okay, so if exception is not action data, then action set checked. Let's have a look. So we can click on games and it doesn't work. It doesn't work, so probably print action data. That's probably not what I think. Oh, that's a myth. Oh, yeah. Yes. So that's what I want. It's a method. It's not an attribute. Games server. There we go. There we go. We can now uncheck our buttons without even knowing which one is checked and how many buttons we have. That's cool. I wonder if we can add some sort of class to Qt elements, by Qt elements. Let's see. By Qt 5, add CSS class to action. Ding, 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 ding. QLabel. Yeah, so I have QLabel. I can have stuff like that, but I want to add my custom classes. I think that's it. Set property CSS class large, and then style sheet can match via this selector. Huh. It's not exactly what I want, but why not? Actually, you can assign specific class name. For example, Q push button, pound button black border. Sets the style sheet to all Q push button with the object name button back. But this sign, that's an ID, that's not a class. So that's wrong. From a CSS point of view. I use CSS in my Q widget application, and unfortunately I've also not come across a way to achieve this. What I've done in my application is to use a dynamic property called class, and against this I specify a CSS. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can live with that. I can live with that. So QWidget, and where was that? QWidget that set property CSS class large. So I can live with that and go with my button. Every button that I create should have, and again, it's always the same thing. I can have a function to create those buttons. The self.games category action that set property, and we're gonna call that CSS class as shown, and that's gonna be a category button. And let's do the same with this just before the action, and that's server category action. Okay, all right, and now we can go to our CSS. Where's the CSS? It's there, and we're going to do something like CSS class equals category button. Okay, we want it to be checked, and if that's checked, we want the background color to be yellow. It's not the definitive, the official color that's it's gonna have when it's released, but yeah, of course it doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Let's remove the check mark, the check thing for now, and see if that just... No. So that doesn't work either. I probably have made a mistake somewhere. Star. Okay. Star. CSS class category button. Background color yellow. Border. One peak. Solid. Yellow, and let's roll. Nope. Nope. Well, that's gonna be my homework for next week, I guess. It's been an hour, so I'm going to end the stream here. I think I'm going to do a little bit more work between the two streams than what I did last time. I want to have stuff working. I want to be able to install and remove software next time. So that would mean that I would have to have the queue ready, so I can add software to the install queue and remove them from the install queue and refactor all that, so that we don't have to rely on knowing what button we have and stuff like that. Let's have a look at the chat. Bigpod says, hello. It will be a mix of stuff, and who knows how it will turn out. That's about the calendar thing and the mix of R and Python. Bigpod says, do not expect to learn from me, but I will probably be trying to make something useful, like a CLI for libvirt, or I might go as far as to make a web API. Well, never underestimate yourself, Bigpod. You never know when you can teach someone something. So I look forward to watch your stream. Well, I'm going to end this stream here. Next, I think in the different communities and things like that. Today is the May 20, 2021. So tomorrow, Friday night, it's the Bugcast being recorded live. That's audio only, but we have a Telegram channel where you can join us during the recording. So that's going to be at thebugcast.org/live, 9:30 p.m. UK time. So that's 8:30 p.m. UTC. If you want to listen to great Creative Commons music and chat with us in Telegram, join us over there. I think it's thebugcast.org/telegram to get there, to get to the channel. Then this weekend it's gonna be Bigpod with his Python stream. Let me find. That's 8:30 p.m. Is that 10:30 p.m. your time, Bigpod? You said. Yeah, so our time. So that's 8:30 p.m. UTC. On Bigpod's channel on YouTube, you're gonna find a link to Bigpod's channel in the description of this video. Next Monday is Monica. She's back with a mix of cats and machine learning. That's also gonna be fun to watch. I don't think Eric scheduled anything just yet. But if you have, Eric, just let me know in the next 3 minutes. I will be back next Thursday with part 6 of this podcast, and Friday next week with a stream about my DIY Stream Deck, part 2 of that. And I have already prepared a stream about how I built the layout, the old graphic environment manager, GEM environment that you can find on my Twitch channel if you go there. So stay tuned. If you want to get in touch with me or with the community, the Ubuntu MATE community, you have the link in the description of this video. You have the link to Bigpod's channel and Eric's channel and Monica's channel in there. I think I've said everything that I wanted to say. So thank you, Nate. Thank you, Bigpod. Thank you, Eric, for joining me in the live chat tonight. Thank you, everyone, for watching, liking, subscribing, setting the clicking on the bell to get the notification. If you like what you've seen, click on the thumbs up. If you didn't like, click on the thumbs down. That still counts as interaction, so that's good. Do not hesitate if you didn't like that. That will not prevent me from keep doing it. Just if you don't like it, don't watch it. That's it. Thank you again, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.